Oh, would you look at that? That's some important reading right there. I'm surprised that they can... Oh, hey, how are you doing? Welcome. I've just found out some new information. Information that I imagine you want to know about. So let's go and talk about this information. Turns out we got a brand new Vox. A Vox that made me put enough things down to say, we need to talk about this. It is very important that we take a moment and realize that this Vox lets us know that at some point in the future, maybe by the end of the year, we're going to see some major changes to Darktide. Should these changes arrive before the end of the year, we're going to be in an even better position than we have been for a long while. So are you ready to watch this Vox with me? And then we'll react to it. 'Cause I sure as hell am.
Morningstar? Is that you? Morningstar? This is Wormwood. In the name of the Emperor's grace, I had given up hope of ever hearing you. Are you really here? Have you come to save us? Morningstar? Please, tell me you can hear me. I am transmitting on secure Gamma 6. I have activated my beacon. Are you reading the signal? I pray you are. Mark my location and send the team to get me. Get me out of this hell, I beg you. Get me out of here before that thing finds me.
Her soul is mine now, and yours, Inquisitor Grendel, is next.
Now that gives me hope that we are going to be able to retrieve Wormwood from whatever mission she's in. That is something I am looking forward to doing, is having a mission that is completely different from what we've gotten used to. I want us to have a rescue mission where we have to then protect the VIP. Whether she walks out on her own or we have to carry her, I want this to be a mission. She can't be corrupted. Oh no, I'm gonna give a lot of things here, but hear me out. Don't let her be corrupted. Let her survive. Let her become an NPC that we can talk to, hang out with, and get to know more. But what I really want to see this happen, let it be a whole new series of missions. We used to have a mission series when it came to Vermintide 2. You knew the story of the mission based on the mission you were doing. You know what your purpose was, you know what you were doing there, and it gave you a sense of the story's progression to the finale, right? Give us a bunch of new missions. I'd even settle for like 4, with the 4th mission being the rescue mission. But each mission telling a story in us picking up the pieces of Wormwood's trail, leading us to where she is. If we get that, that will be a huge change to the game. It will be a positive influence to those who have just started playing. It will be a positive influence for those who have been playing for the last year. That being said, do I expect us to get that? No. But I'd love to see it. Abso-Karking-lutely. It would be amazing to have new missions. What I am expecting us is to get 1 new mission, 1 new boss type. Maybe we get a new Chaos mini-boss enemy to fight. We've got the dog, we've got the Chaos Spawn, and we've got the Plague Ogre. We have a Daemon host, but I don't really see us fighting them quite as often as we used to. I don't know what the 5th enemy could be, but in terms of boss, there are 3 options that I see this boss being. Number 1 is the Karker who got freed at the very beginning of the story. He's a forgettable Karker, but he is someone that could be who we fight in the end. It would be disappointing for him to be the boss. He's not that important of a character. He's not someone that stands out in mind as someone who's worth fighting and could actually pose a threat to Grendel. So I'd like to see him not be the final boss. However, the other two options I can see being our enemy for this fight. Number 2, a rogue fallen Inquisitor. If we get a rogue Inquisitor that's fallen to the forces of chaos and the corruption of Nurgle, it would then make sense as to why Grendel is at Atoma. There are other people, other factions that could have come to Atoma with an army at their back. We've all been wondering what it is that brought Grendel here. So, I don't think it's just to put the plague out. I think Grendel's here to either go for option 2 or option 3. This rogue Inquisitor would have a reason to know Grendel, to be out for Grendel's soul. So, that would make sense. And this would be a nice wrapper to the Tertium story, and for what seems to be a direction that a lot of the fan base is looking for, to go to this second hive city and to fight whatever Xenos threat seems to be there. The third option. Now this option, a lot of people in the community have been saying, let's fight X. Why aren't we fighting X? Why don't we get to see X? And X is a Chaos Space Marine. My best guess is we'd be fighting one of Mortarian's boys. That being said, I don't think this would end up being the case. I want it to be the case. I actually, out of all 3 options, I really want it to be one of Morty's boys for us to fight and to take out and to really cement our place within the warband of Grendel. Then at that point, no longer should we have to be dealing with the abuse of everyone telling us that we're trash, we should be executed, blah blah blah. However, that's a fight that has to be done right. It's not a fight that can be done half-assed and half-cocked by the dev team. I mean it, guys. This is a fight that not 4 rejects can win without being crafty, using the environment, or having some tricks in our sleeves. What are these tricks that I'd like to see? Well, I'd like to see this arena take place in an open air area. Why open air? It could be Enclave and Barrows. Literally, it could be Enclave and Barrows. Have an arena of that nature where we have to shut down turrets. We have to call in an airstrike of the Valkyrie, right? Now we're getting air support, something that's actually staggering him. Now we have to use, let's say, now we have to take a thermal charge and apply a thermal charge to the Space Marine. So now we have to cross the bridge, run over while he's stunned by the Valkyrie. And then at that point, there's another wave and say the turrets get brought back up. Or we're getting mauled down by a horde and the Space Marine is recovering from his stagger. This is an enemy that should 2-shot us or 1-shot us. Why am I asking for such brutality? Well, it's a Karking Chaos Space Marine. It needs to feel good. It needs to feel scary. It needs to be a dangerous fight. It's not one that we can just kick our boots into and say, oh, we did this, no problem. Now, there will absolutely be groups of people that say, the hell with it, I don't need to do the game mechanics, I'm just going to shoot it until it goes down. It has to be beatable that way too, of course, but it shouldn't be. It should be focused on using this arena with all the tricks that 4 rejects can come up with, cementing us as the Tertium Four. I do have another video coming out that will come out next week about a potential 5th character I'd like to see us and would fit very well within the lore. But as it is now, the Tertium Four come into play, and we've taken out this Chaos Space Marine using all of our wit, our ingenuity, and our tact. We're not just rejects for a reason. We're not gonna fight any longer in the standard militarum way. We're fighting like an Inquisitor warband. We're thinking like inquisitorial agents, outside the box. How can we utilize a field to take out this deadly foe? Now, of course, an enemy like an Inquisitor, that I expect them to do a straight up, no issue whatsoever fight. I don't see that being very creative. But there are ways where we could do a battle against an Inquisitor and make it feel good. I think either doing an Inquisitor or a Chaos Space Marine in an arena where we have to be smart, because an Inquisitor, I think if we're fighting a rogue Inquisitor, they should have psycho powers. They should have some abilities of a Zealot. They should have some abilities of an Ogrin. They should have some abilities of a Veteran. Make them the mix of all four classes. Make them deadly. Make them a reason why people fear Inquisitors. Anyhow, that's just my thought on this cinematic and my hopes for the upcoming release of missions or a final enemy for us to face in Tertium. I want to see the story that this game can tell in a narrative focus. We have a great game here. It can continue to be better. So let's get there, Fatshark. Lads, share this around. Share it with Fatshark. Maybe they'll see it. Maybe they'll like these ideas. Maybe we'll get quality over shit. And they'll finally start turning things around for the better. Because that's all we're Karking hope for. Shout out to the patrons. Thank you so much for supporting on Patreon. You too can become a Patreon supporter by heading down in the description below. There's a link there. You can also support the channel by becoming a channel member. Or you can always support for free by hitting like, subscribe, and the bell notification. And commenting your thoughts below. I want to know what your thoughts are. What do you think about these potential opportunities that we have with the release of this Vox? See you in the next one, lads. Take care of yourselves out there. Stay frosty and mark your targets. Peace.